サタンしろ
Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 203 of the Saturn Sons podcast. I am Kurt, joined once again this week by my infectious co-hosts, Peter and Jake.
Hey, this week we're coming at you with the Absentee Ballet Edition. Absentee Ballet.
I get it.
Ballet.
Everybody turn in your absentee ballets. It's a video of you dancing. Well,
How much clothes can I wear when is there a minimum clothing requirement for the ballet?
as little as possible.
Send it in
As
naked.
little
Competitive strip ballet.
That would be the fucking, like, other people might feel differently. I'm not trying to, like, shame you for what you like, but, like, just the image of, like, fucking a ballet with just a bunch of dudes with no clothes and their dicks just fucking flopping around each
but
way.
everything has to be quiet. There's no music to it, so you hear the pat, pat, pat whenever they're spinning around.
I think I actually saw that in Book of Mormon once.
If they could synchronize the pat, pat, pat. Just
That'd be
hitting off their
impressive.
thighs, I'd watch.
A lot of math goes into that because, you know, the different, like, lengths and thicknesses. You got to figure out tangential velocities.
They have,
Oh, no.
They have to keep the dance room at constant temperature. So
Oh, gotta standardize the dicks here. No,
God
you
forbid
really
anyone
have
gets
reminded me of.
aroused.
sorry, Billy, your dick's too short for this ballet. We need a shower, not a grower.
You know how, like, when you're doing a pirouette, you have to pull your leg in to increase your angular momentum so you can spin more, right?
Yes.
Of course.
So, you know, reason would be leading me to believe that they would have to stay at full mass when they start and just immediately lose it. And it just, all the blood retracts into the center of their body.
If anybody can control
That
their
extra
blood,
1/8 spin.
if anybody can control their blood flow like that, I'm convinced that's a superpower.
You're fucking you're from another planet. You're going to be abducted by
I
a
am a
record mogul.
erection man.
That's actually who Bloodshot is. Vin Diesel can control his erections.
Right up until he gets about 50 or 60, then he needs a pill to help him.
I need to take a Cialis so I can impress Brock Lesnar.
Oh, where are we today,
We
Jake?
are coming at you live from quarantine in our own homes, where they're telling us to stay put. Don't go outside.
Yeah, but I'm probably going to go out for food.
And your Uber drivers they'll leave your food 6 feet away from your doorstep, and then wave at you from their car.
I ordered pizza, and the dude, I thought he was like dropping the food and then walking to his car because of COVID, but he was like, he didn't even like knock on my door. I like saw him across the parking lot and walked out to get it.
Huh.
He's like, I was just about to give you a call. It's like, no, dude. You didn't even knock on the door. It's like, you should have called when you pulled in then.
My Uber, not Uber driver, my Chipotle DoorDash guy. I guess he works for DoorDash. He came up with a face mask and gloves. And I was like, oh, okay. Do you have it?
No, this dude was like t-shirts, nothing like that. And like, he just handed me my fucking sub. And I was like, okay.
Oh, yeah. Pizza Hut didn't care either. Pizza Hut was like, here you go. Have your food. I put in the delivery
sneakies.
instructions, please no Corona. And he was like, we don't serve beer here. And he's like, oh. Jokes.
Funny joke.
It's called
Funny
controlling the
joke.
uncontrollable during times of panic.
Controlling expectations, like you should this week, because we watched. There's like very few trailers out. There's not a lot of gaming news. The
movie
world shut down.
movie theaters have shut down. So when we talk about the box office, it's not going to be pretty. It's going to be like whatever was there pre-shutdown. As a result of no one knowing when all this shit's going to blow over, people aren't like advertising new releases. Stuff is getting pushed back. Fast and the Furious, which was supposed to come out in May, has been pushed back to April of next year.
Jesus. Probably they probably had to shut down production, I'm assuming, and then
Oh, I think it was done.
Oh,
if it was coming out in May of this year,
Jesus.
you'd think it'd have to be done.
They just like push it back a new cycle because they don't want it to like come
They
out
pushed
in
it back
January?
11 months. Yeah.
Jesus.
Well,
Send
Hobbs and Shaw came out around January. That's one of the reasons we saw it.
all the directors are like, all right, nobody die. Come on.
Just nobody.
Be here for
fucking
the
died.
premiere.
I don't want to CG in another another lost family member.
If we need reshoots, we need you.
We already lost Aaron Paul. We can't go for this shit again.
Oh yeah, the box office is
Or
dreadful right now.
yeah, a lot of big numbers in terms of downs. Like I saw 72%, 77%. Fucking just bloody, a lot of bloody gauze. Not a lot of trailers.
Damn it, this really bothers me because like The Hunt just came out, and I was really hoping to see if all this, all the political press for The Hunt was gonna give a free
Doesn't
publicity.
matter.
But
He got
no,
virus.
Well, Universal, yeah, if it drums up the box office, but Universal, and I'm assuming that perhaps a lot of other movie people are gonna follow suit with this, are making available for streaming all their movies that are currently in
Yeah,
theaters.
and I have a list. I have a list we can go through after Trey watch.
Like Onward, right? Isn't it
Onward
coming
is-
like next
Onward
week?
is coming. I have a list. We can get to that later.
Yeah.
But yeah. So for Trey watch, I mean, what little trailers we do have, I guess, for what it's worth, we have Harley Quinn season 2 that is dropping.
It looks
It looks a
it
lot
looks
like
like
season one.
more Harley Quinn, a lot like season 1, just more in pretty much every way. So if you liked season 1, you'll probably like this. If you were Matt on season 1 like I was, then you'll probably be Matt on this as
Now,
well.
Peter, did you ever?
But
win
it does
you
look
over
like
there.
there's more Bane, and Bane was my
Yeah,
favorite character.
I like that.
So
Right.
Did you follow it, Peter, or did you fall off like I did?
No, I
Oh, you
finished
did?
it.
Okay. So she
Yeah.
apparently, I'm assuming she apparently like takes over the League of Villains or something.
Well, did you watch the
Investors?
ending, Jake?
No.
All right. Spoilers for fucking season 1 of Harley Quinn here, I guess. So Joker takes over the Legion of Doom and kills Poison Ivy, and then Harley Quinn gets really pissed, like actual pissed, and fights Joker for the last time. He knocks Joker into the vat like a poetic justice sort of deal. Then his whole fucking gigantic tower explodes and crashes, and the whole city's like in peril because Joker ruled the city for a couple weeks before she finally got back at him. So think of this is like, it's almost like the No Man's Land arc, sort of,
right, yeah.
in that there is no ruling power in Gotham now. And
And
she's
I
like,
saw-
yes, everyone's in fucking chaos. It's a happy ending. So now she's got to like make a name for herself among the warlords of Gotham.
Yeah, and we saw them dividing up Gotham in the trailer. Also saw a shot of Dr. Psycho riding a parademon. So
That
looks
was a
like
weird
we
one.
might have fucking Darkseid
That's
involved in this in somehow. Apocalypse invasion.
Nice.
Perfect.
That should be interesting.
Yeah. Let's see where it goes. I think they did it. I think it was a success overall for
Catwoman
DC.
and Batgirl.
Especially with
Yeah, it's a popular thing on their platform.
I think giving it the rated R rating and going really deep with that was probably their best decision they made in a long time.
hmm
Well, they
Like,
have
this
to.
is-
If Disney's going to be, and Disney and Marvel are going to be like, we're the one that's for family. You know, DC has to like cater to the 18 to 49 demo.
Yeah.
And all the balls deep. This is the best way to appeal to both the balls deep edge lords, and also like as wide an appeal as you can get with that. Because like, you know, these are the kind of people like they'll release the Snyder Cut guys.
Right.
It's like, I want it rated R. I want all the blood and guts and stuff. And like, can we at
I
least
want it dark.
like, guys, can we at least make it a comedy so we can attract some normal people?
I want it so dark I can't see it.
I think the director's
Since
cut.
Solo, Jake.
I can't think of the movie. Maybe it's Daredevil, but there's a director's cut of a particular movie that I thought was a lot better than the theatrical cut is rated R versus the theatrical cut that's rated PG-13. I think it is Daredevil.
Probably.
But yeah, so that's sometimes it's better. Sometimes they're really restricted by the R rate by not having an R rating.
Mm-hmm. Unless you make a bunch of really raunchy ass jokes. It's good. Next trailer is we summon the darkness.
Darkness.
Trying to spread out the the podcast.
Maximizing every
single second.
Yeah, it's a movie basically positing what if like all the fucking, a hard rock Satan shit in the 60s was true and a valid concern, and Johnny Knoxville's in there
as the Southern Baptist priest guy.
Yeah.
The televangelist.
Yeah, it doesn't look like my kind of movie.
I could watch it. It's like a black comedy adventure about three satanic punks who, like gal pals, who go around to rock concerts, catfishing or honeypotting guys, and then sacrificing them to the Dark Lord or whatever.
Oh yeah.
Whether or not actually to the Dark Lord or just to scare the public, be like, yeah, we're bad punk and we're sacrificing him to Satan.
They're really pushing hard that they're the Satanists, but I think the swerve will be that it's really the church people.
Oh yeah, and then they'll be like, the moral of the story is like, oh, we're punks. We don't care about you either way. Like we may be he made us free or whatever, and then they, like we were discussing before the podcast, I think they're gonna do something heinous to Johnny Knoxville because, I mean, fuck, it's him, man.
Yeah.
Like what was his latest thing?
He's
Like
not in this movie for his acting ability.
he was like hospitalized recently, I think, because instead of doing like a stand-up comedy tour, he does his stand-up show, but it's comedy and also crazy physical shit that he usually does.
I thought Steve-O was doing that.
Oh, maybe it was Steve-O.
I wouldn't be surprised if they were both doing something similar.
I wouldn't be surprised. I thought Steve-O was doing something where he would. I remember him talking on a podcast where he was talking about just getting up doing jokes and then just doing weird shit to himself, like lighting himself on fire and stuff like that.
All right, yeah, I don't see any news for that. That was just straight up, just fucking.
He's been in the hospital many a time.
Yeah. Oh, he has a punch card.
Practically lives there.
He has a punch card.
Hey, look at this. Yeah. Look at this headline that isn't fucking clickbait at all. Steve-O, Jackass 4 can happen if Johnny Knoxville is ready. I don't think about that. That seems like someone just asked him a bunch of shitty questions and he's like, I guess Johnny Knoxville wants. We'll fucking
he's the
call
guy
together.
who makes these happen.
It's not like we lost half of our people and everyone sort of moved on with their lives, doing stuff that is arguably much safer while still holding a similar entertainment value. Steve-O, he's got a fucking Peruvian dog to live for. God damn it!
He's got a dog they saved. He's a saint. See, any other trailers? There was one that I was thinking of earlier. I guess sort of movie news or show news. What was that? The one chick from who was the night nurse from Daredevil?
Rosario Dawson.
Yeah, Rosario Dawson has been cast as Ahsoka Tano in The Mandalorian.
Just this.
It
was a very dense headline for us, where like every word was
upsetting in
I
some way.
So happy in every single way, shape, and form. I don't even care. I was indifferent about her. I didn't mind her in Daredevil, Even if I didn't like her in Daredevil, I don't care.
I didn't mind her in Daredevil. It was all the other shit she kept showing up in that was the problem. And how her character was of weirdly like great import in all of these stories.
I just care
no
that she's
good
Ahsoka
reason.
Tano and that they're going to be bringing her into the storyline.
Mm-hmm. There, a lot of people are doing some hot speculation that this is like there's gonna do a lot of continuation with Rebels plot lines and story elements
yes,
because
be...
Dark Saber also, so they're like, okay, they're just gonna pull that whole storyline out.
Yeah, because I forgot where it ended up in Rebels. In Rebels, it ended up in some Mandalorian chick's hands. Sabine Wray gave it off to this like I think the one female who was like the leader of Clan Vizsla.
Okay.
And then she was leading like this group of Mandalorians who weren't like the Death Watch, but they were like a faction that I think came off of the Death Watch. Which were like the Death Watch was basically this super militant group of rogue Mandalorians who wanted to uproot the pacifist ways of the Mandalorians that were current era. And a lot of people hated that because they're like,
For
no.
Mandalore.
Yeah. And then this group wanted to bring them back to the old days where they were, powerful. They were seen as the most feared fighter in the galaxy. So it ended sort of peacefully, I think, with that. And then the next thing we saw with the Darksaber was that it was in the hands of that one guy, the Imperial guy. Oh, I don't remember his name. The guy from Breaking Bad. So this is
Jesse Eisenberg.
no the chicken El Pollo Loco.
Pollo Loco.
Is that what
I
it
think
was?
El Pollo
El
Loco.
Polo Loyo?
No.
Yoiko?
Yeah.
Those Tres Caballeros.
So it'll be interesting to see where this storyline goes. Because nobody really knows. It's just all speculation. Maybe gonna be something because the last we saw of Ahsoka Tano, she was going out to look for Ezra Bridger. And
I see.
that was like the edges of the galaxy. So she may like hook up with Mandalorian and maybe find like the edges of the galaxy. And she'd be like, hey, that fucking kid with you, that's a Yoda. I'm going to call it Baby Yoda. And then we officially get the name Baby Yoda coined for canon.
Oh, I don't want them to do
No.
that.
What's
but-
Baby Yoda's real name? Obviously, it's Yoda Baby. God, they talk backwards. Get with it.
So
Gaga goo goo.
but anything can happen. We'll find out more because there's still episodes of the Clone Wars that are coming out, and they look good. I mean,
Ashoka's gonna show up and she's still just the art style from Rebels.
Yeah, it's just gonna be fucking animated, composited with live action.
I think people would be more mad that they didn't use the original voice actress for that because they're like animated her. But yeah, no, it's been good so far. I think so. I don't know. Who else.
Have you not watched it?
I have. I watched the latest episode last night because they're
Okay, you seemed a little uncertain.
Well-
You're like, it's been fine so far. I've heard it's.
because I like to take other people's input. People like it. There was a big Republic Commandos arc with like the Bad Batch, and it was kind of looking at a cooler side of.
I need to play
clones.
that game again.
And they had like all the Republic Commando blasters. And now we just
That
got
was a
the
fun
first
game.
episode with Ahsoka in it, and she's like a mechanic. So that's something I didn't know I wanted. Mechanic Ahsoka.
Now, when you said that something I didn't know I wanted, all I pictured was like Ashoka in like jeans, like the Megan
Oh,
Fox
yeah.
and Transformers, where she's like working on the
Just
car.
the overalls.
Bent over a droid. Oh yeah. She's putting that restraining bolt on there. Yep. Hell yeah, dude.
Wearing high heels for some reason,
Yeah.
even though it's fucking doing.
That's the
Hard
outfit
labor.
for for that employer. Hey man, you gotta conform. Good on her though.
There's a dress code.
Yeah, dress code.
Excuse me, sir. There's a dress code.
But
This is a Wendy's.
I think that's all I have for like show news and movie news. But I can touch upon those movies that are coming out early now.
Yeah, let's let everyone know where we can find some movies.
So if you don't have Disney Plus, and you want to get it and you want to see Frozen 2, do it now because Frozen 2 is out on Disney Plus. It came out early. They pushed it up a month or two, which is pretty cool. As of yesterday on iTunes and Prime Video, you can get The Invisible Man. I believe that was doing very well in theaters.
It was crushing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and I heard pretty decent things. That's a Universal and Blumhouse movie. And it's only been out since February 28th. So you can get it for...
Last week was its third week.
And I'm pretty sure all these prices are pretty flat unless it's like a free streaming thing. But you can get it right now for $19.99 for a 48-hour video on demand rental.
Oof, that's pretty steep.
I beg to differ. Okay, here's why. I think more broadly as for like families. So if you're a family going out to watch it, like I know my one friend has 3 kids and him and his wife and 3 kids go out and he spends over $100 at the movies. Now, if he can just stay home and like cook up some Orville Redenbacher's popcorn for, $10, he buys a box and then gets $20 for the whole family and they watch it right there on their TV.
Yeah,
they're saving money.
But there's a large number of people who go to the movie theaters who don't like have that consideration. And when you're asking, okay, so you're not driving out to the movie theater, you're not seeing it on this big screen, we're not giving you a value add to the service, you are watching it in your home to then charge $10 more than the average movie ticket in a lot of places.
I would
for that privilege is it's more expensive than I would have. I knew it wasn't going to be the $4.99 or whatever. But I would have thought like $10.
So I understand that. It is more expensive. I'd say it's about $7 more. I pay about $13 every time I go out to see a movie. All my theaters are more premium. They all have the reclining seats. So if you buy them online, especially, they're like still $13. So for $7 more, I'm seeing it at my house. If I want to get snacks, I'm not going to be overcharged for those snacks at a movie theater. And again, you can have as many people watch it at the same time as you want. So for people who want to do movie nights,
less than 10.
True. Yeah. Yeah. Everybody, less than 10. We cannot stress this enough. If you have people over at your house, if you live with more than 10 people, get out of there. Go to a friend's house that has 9 or less.
9 or less.
You guys have hit upon something. I sent a video over to you. It's called Scientist Man's Plan to Save Star Wars. It's a Red Letter Media video.
I've seen
where
this.
He basically fucking suggests this. I mean, between this and some of the other reviews, when he's talking about Netflix movies, where he's just like, just make it a premium service and sell it to like home movie theaters and just go there, and then you can make all your low-key art house movies, especially like even if there wasn't like a disease, he's like, make all your low-key art house movies, sell them right to the consumer, skip the fucking theater because no one's going to watch them in the theater. That's an awful environment to watch a thinky movie in. And then just make the theaters packed full of Avengers and explosions and crazy like popcorn muncher bullshit. And this is like that. It's like, if you can't sell Star Wars to everyone, sell it to some of the people at a crazy ass cost because Star Wars fans will spend that money.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, no, I agree. For me, watching a movie, $20 for just a 48-hour rental is pretty steep. But I mean, if we wanted to all see The Hunt, we all want to see The Hunt, that will be streaming yesterday. So you can get it now, iTunes Prime Video. We could all split it between each other, split the $20. And,
I understand that it's not like insurmountable. I just think I would have priced it closer to $10, maybe $15. Split the difference. I think $19.99 that's a threshold that you think about it, it's like, oh, that's like almost a month of the highest tier Netflix, or I could get like these two streaming services for the month for that price.
I also can't imagine how much money producers and production companies are losing on this whole thing. And I mean, I know everybody's losing money on this, but any way to mitigate that as much as possible.
That's interesting because they have to. It depends on how well this takes off, right? Because, they get I think they only get like a percentage of the box office gate, because that's like split between them and the theater chain. So selling it directly to consumers, if a lot of people go and download it or buy it, rent it, whatever, there's a potential that they'll make comparable money as they would to the box office, because it'd be mostly direct to them.
I'm assuming, iTunes or Prime aren't taking as big of a cut as the
I wouldn't think
as
so.
the movie theater, or they're maybe easier to negotiate because they only have to argue, hey, we're only using your digital platform. We're not using like your real estate, your through theater space, how many showings we have. Like, we're not using all that stuff.
Staff, there's overhead.
Staff. There's no overhead for it. So it is interesting to see how this will affect other things, where maybe we might see some more indie films come out just for streaming and for rental stuff, like they said, because that might be more lucrative. But again, you're sacrificing the experience of being in like an IMAX theater or 3D theater or something like that.
Did we really need to see the Fanatic in IMAX?
I don't know. Well, there are those movies that are like, shot on a certain thing, and see it in IMAX and blow your fucking balls off and all that jazz. But you're not going to get that on your computer or your phone. How many people are going to be watching some of these new movies on their phone? So we have The Hunt that came out yesterday. We have Emma. On iTunes and Prime Video as well. It seems like it's also out as well, because that came out February 21st. Same price, $19.99. Onward will be coming to Disney Plus, which I believe just came out. Is that correct? No, I don't even think that came out yet, actually. Oh, yeah, it did. Yeah, it did. Sorry. Yeah, it came out a couple weeks ago. Or like last week or something. So that came out. That will be available on Disney Plus for $20. Yesterday.
So you have to pay on top of the. Interesting.
Oh, I'm sorry. For digital platforms, yesterday, so on March 20th, that's going to be available for purchase. But if you want to wait for another couple weeks, it will be hitting Disney Plus on April 3rd with no added charge. So I apologize. Okay. It doesn't say what other digital platforms. I guess iTunes and Prime Video, maybe.
Yeah, I would assume that. I assume that all of these would be available to purchase in that manner.
Yeah.
In addition to maybe ending up elsewhere for.
But I think they just pushed the digital release on Disney Plus super early. I mean, you're talking about. I think this movie came out beginning of March.
Last week, or 2 weeks ago.
And we're talking about a month later it coming out for free on Disney Plus. I mean, if you're talking about any movie to take the biggest hit, it seems like Onward is going to take the biggest hit, because this movie cost a decent chunk. Had to be.
Yeah, you'd have to imagine it's probably in the neighborhood of $100 million.
There's no budget listed, but I mean, it's already made $103 million. But
they have estimated the budget to be somewhere between $175 and $200 million.
I mean, it's a full-length animated Disney movie. It's going to be an expensive movie. So, damn. So they're probably going to be taking a hit. Especially, we only have 2 more weeks left in March. Before it comes out for free. Yeah. And most people have Disney Plus.
Well, I mean, that works to their advantage, too. Like, Disney will gladly take an increase. If Onward being on Disney Plus leads to a big increase in Disney Plus subscriptions, that is a trade that Disney will gladly make.
I think so, yeah. You're right. Now, definitely, we're all going to want to buy this. Birds of Prey coming to...
Of course.
Oh, goody.
Coming to iTunes and Prime Video for $19.99 on March 24th. You can buy it. This is the first one I see that you can buy it for $19.99 on March 24th, and it's available for rent in April. So I don't know what's up with that one.
Buy it before you
Buy
rent.
it before you rent it, I guess. Bloodshot, Vin Diesel comic adaptation, available purchase for $19.99. I'm assuming, again, iTunes and Prime Video. They haven't listed it here, or they didn't list a date.
I mean, yeah, it'll probably be there. iTunes, Prime Video, Vudu, all those marketplace.
Yeah. We got Just Mercy as well. Probably the same price. The Gentleman.
I like that movie.
The Way Back, but I think that already came out, right?
The Way Back? That's in second week, and third week now.
Yeah. I Still Believe. Trolls World Tour is going to be coming out April 10th.
Oh, that's going to skip the theater altogether.
Yeah. So it was scheduled for the theatrical release April 10th. They'll be releasing the film digitally and for streaming on the same day. So streaming...
Direct to video.
That's going to suck because I'm pretty sure that movie took a lot to make as well.
Yeah.
But I think people are just... I mean, the actors have come out and they're like, "Oh, we're just glad we can bring joy and bring this happy film to people in this trying time."
Of course, they got paid. It's the studio that's worried right now.
The studio is probably like, "Shit, $40 for Trolls. We fucking need it."
We'll suck your dick.
I don't know, but like, I've talked to the children. I've been to the.
I've listened to the children.
I've been to the Disney parks, and Kristen's niece is gaga over Trolls. She loves Trolls, and I can only assume she speaks for all kids when she says that. Where Trolls is the shit for them, so you're gonna have some parents shelling out major cash for trying to get some streaming of Trolls, and they're gonna watch that over and over again.
Well, in that case, like you said, you made the point about that being a bargain for a lot of them because, 3 kids, the parent, the 2 kids, that's $30 right there.
Yeah. And especially if they're like, because kids have the attention span of a lemur, so they'll be like, "I want to watch it again. I forgot what happened. I did duty in my pants."
I get to spend my quarantine watching Trolls for all
48
day.
hours, nothing but Trolls.
Thank God Frozen didn't come out when fucking the pandemic
Guys, we're
hit.
going to be streaming
Could you
Trolls
imagine?
World Tour on April 10th for 48 hours straight. Charity stream. Donate. We're just going to watch on loop.
I'm going to do my census live. Charity stream.
That's pretty much all I got for this. We'll keep you updated on any new things that come out, but yeah.
Hi. All right.
This is just a
Do the
USB.
census?
Here's
Is that a jewel feeder? No, it's just
Yeah,
USB.
I'm jeweling and cooling. It's not totally not an actual USB. I'm just. That's the sound that the jewel makes.
I've heard it before.
You nailed it. You nailed it. Well,
Get that vitamin E.
here's the
Chinese
we'll
vitamin E.
do what little follow up we can. Like theaters closed midweek last week, and So here's your domestic box office report for 2020.
Coming to top.
Weekend 11, March 13th through the 15th. Onward in the top spot yet again with 10.6 million, down 72.9%.
I didn't expect this from Onward coming in its second week, but
Yeah, man, it really
Yikes.
lagged.
4,300 theaters. I wonder how many of those
Yeah.
are open.
I'd
20?
say maybe 28 or 27.1% of them.
Probably.
Bloodshot opened in second with 9.176. We'll see how many reviews there are for it, because this has to be the spotlight movie here, because it's that or The Hunt. But I'm more interested to see what fucking Superman Vin Diesel. I'm white Superman. All right, so currently 5.7 out of 10 IMDb, 30% on Rotten Tomatoes, 44% on Metacritic.
Yeah, there's 170 reviews, so
All right, let's fucking dive into that. Let me tell you why Bloodshot is the best movie ever. Let's see. Riveting, 10 out of 10 by PKPMGP-75871. I'm sure that username was in no way auto-generated. Fabulous acting, cool CGI, great plot in this action-packed film. Bravo, Vin. Bravo, Sam Heughan, on your amazing performances. 11 out of 21 found that helpful.
I think there's a lot of 1-star reviews. Holy shit. Well, I'll tell you why you're wrong. 1 out of 10. Bore Shot by Darius X
get him.
-12928. I just watched it with my family and I had to wake up from a nap when it finished. Comic no one ever heard of, dramatized the way no one ever wanted. Save yourself some money and pick just about anything else. 44 out of 54 found this helpful. A lot of people like that one.
Oh god, there's so many. I'm trying to like find the middle of the pack here. It's just like
A lot of extremes.
a lot of extremes. All right, and there's just a lot of reviews. There's like, why is there so many fucking reviews for this movie? Ugh.
Because everybody thought there was going to be no reviews for it, and they were like, I'm going to be the only review out there.
Oh, I found a gem, boys.
They're going to lead my
I found
review
a
on
gem.
Saturn Studs.
All right, from C Sun, capital B, capital A Piano, capital A Apollo 13, and capital Where, capital Pink. Bloodshot 2026 out of 10. Here's the title of the review, and now I'm going to get to it. Be careful of the subliminal man-woman message, and the latter is cause of drama. Any contact with the females, road to babies, guys.
What the fuck?
That was the title.
That's the title.
All right. All right, we're going to get into this one because this is some generated slop out here. All right, Andrew Jackson, second greatest president behind Lincoln, only one to return banks from the shadowy organization to American hands. Apollo 13th, 50th, and in 1 month, truly extraordinary. My Moonrakers, this achievement of men. That I don't know what that paragraph was.
Huh?
That was the introductional paragraph. I think that's just his tagline. This is an actual insane person out here. All right. Here we go. This is so according to this guy, which 0 out of 0 people found helpful. I think he's going to tell us the plot of this movie,
Okay, I'm ready for it.
or so I believe. If not, I'll read a short but mediocre one. If this looks just like insane. All right, if you like this action hero movie, enjoy. Action heroes need to annihilate 51% of the world's population whose goal is replication of humans, not creativity. They need to be herded in correctional facilities to figure out how to deal with these actual walking viruses. Need to get torn up by the animal kingdom. Movies with humans have the hero and girl trying to get with each other. They even include animals assuming human characteristics of that man-woman nonsense. Be careful of what gets brainwashed into your subconscious from this. Watch out for hole guys. That's HOLE, guys. The romance angle, romance, trademark, is too much term for this. Is handled charmingly cutesy. But all of this, like, oh man, here we go with this stuff. I know this movie is showing guidance to males to how to deal with females. All imagination shown in this movie, creativity is the male ability, while females are replication of humans, aka babies. So both goals are contrast with each other, and know if you stick it in their hole, your creativity goes swoosh, disintegrates. You fall in line with patriarchy, which is uncompromising. Replication is them celebrating the debauchery of humankind, while creativity is trying to get closer to God, creating imaginative things. Any contact with females, the road to babies, guys, even the cutesy way movie dalliances are portrayed. I can't provide all the know-how on the matter. What I can state here that someone else hasn't figured throughout thousands of years of human knowledge. They just want to grind up men, but it is I who grind them into fine dust. Wear pink to take their power away? It's just hormones. Just jack off in the toilet or a napkin. End of the review.
So
0 out of 0 found this helpful.
I take it this was written by a very angry
Like a
gay guy.
I don't know.
Or a chatbot that was a very angry gay guy.
I was gonna say, is this just somebody like typing in the middle suggested word in their auto predict? That's what it sounds like.
It does. It reads like a manifesto.
All right, let me read you an actual one that 11 out of 14 found helpful. Just quickly. This isn't second round. This is just me consoling you for the garbage that I gave you just then. From Connor Joe Bucko, disappointing, 5 out of 10. The idea of the film was good, but poorly executed. I just couldn't follow what was going on. 11 out of 14 found this helpful.
I got one from Goodies with a Y. Goodies. Goody with a Z. Watch it before letting these guys tell you what you're supposed to think. 2 exclamation marks. 10 out of 10. Watched twice in a row on opening night. It was a great movie. Incredible 2020 CGI. And a story that isn't the freshest, but but the presentation is excellent. Yeah, YA. It's the same super soldier action flick, but the way it moves through its story timeline keeps you interested. If we all use some good movie as standard for all the rest, the story would get old quick. This is quite the great new school superhero action film. 6 out of 10 found that helpful.
God. Okay. Well, I'll tell you why you're all wrong. And it is a 1 out of 10. Oh, God. All right. So this, I think, bear with me because I think this is going to be some pretty bad grammar. It just as bad. Somehow it is worse than you would expect.
I expected it.
I expected you. That's in my lexicon now.
Terrible acting, check. Dreadful script, check. Constant exposition, check. Predictable twist, check. Overlong runtime. No?
Check.
No check.
Really feels that way. Vin Diesel, so teens will think it is totally awesome. Check. Oh, we're back to check. This film really is the perfect party film, but not because it's good. Because, you don't have to put the comma. Because it is so bad that at times it almost feels like it is making a parody of itself. Do not see this movie in cinemas. It is not worth your money. But when it goes onto TV, pop it on when you're having a bad day. And it's guaranteed to brighten up your day. The only reason this film gets 1 star is because the female side character actually gives off a half decent performance. 2 out of 3 found that helpful.
That's almost 60%. That's 66.6%, the mark of the beast.
Oh. And then we got from CN 11941, Bloodshot 4 out of 10. I gave Diesel a second chance. I was right all the time. I simply run from Vin Diesel movies. F&F, Triple X among other from this walking, expressionless door they call an actor. Why? Because Vin Diesel's characters are all the same and they don't make any sense at all. Bloodshot was some kind of RoboCop with dread, if Booth were written by a dysfunctional 15-year-old boy with drug abuse. Okay, RoboCop isn't that reference of a perfect plot and development, but it was okay. This one here, however, we can't take no advantage from. The plot is just a compilation of Hollywood action movies cliches from start to finish. The redemption of A-class American soldier who has no family, no friends, no one to miss him, so thank that he has nothing to lose when he gets enhanced after death by a megalomaniac scientist. That was just me. That was my error. I'm sorry, guys. Who controls the movie heroes every step. I mean, really? Hollywood screenwriters have nothing left to come up with? That's sad, at least. Special and visual effects are full of failures. The CGI is mediocre, to save adjectives. The sound mixing and editing was poorly developed. We don't feel the immersion we should expect from a high-action movie.
Expect.
Bloodshot saves himself. Huh?
Expect.
I expected. Bloodshot saves himself for having a little bit more of 100 minutes length. More than that, and I would certainly commit suicide if Vin Diesel came with another superhero. Effective quote. This movie is a total disgrace. Please don't lose your time or money. 52 out of 59 found this helpful.
What was the score on this again?
This was a 4 out of 10.
Okay.
I give
That
that
is-
review a 4 out of 10.
Quite a vicious 4 out of 10. All right.
I will shout out to Metaflix. His review, just the title here, 3 out of 10. Avoid theaters to minimize the risk of catching coronavirus. Or worse, seeing this Vin Diesel flick. Yes.
Funny.
Yeah.
God.
I Still Believe opened in third with 9.1 million. So 9.176 for Bloodshot, 9.103 for I Still Believe. So very close. The Invisible Man down 61.1%, but gaining 26 theaters. Oh, that was a poor decision by those 26 theaters. Let's spend the money. We'll get Invisible Man in here. Oh no.
Whoops.
The Hunt is next, but that's 5.8 million, but 123 million worldwide. Thus far off of a $7 million budget, so I'm sure they're wiping their tears with $100 bills. The Hunt opened with $5.3 million, and very quickly, actually that's a lie, I misread that. So $5.8 million domestic from the opening weekend, $700,000 international, so 6.5 mil so far. Budget of $14 million. This is the most expensive fucking Blumhouse movie ever.
It's because they made it 3 times, just every time from scratch. When it got pushed back, like, all right, shoot it again.
Shoot it again.
They actually paid all the actors retainer. Like, it's just a live event that they've been holding on to. Like, every time someone wants to watch it, everyone just gets on stage and they act out the whole movie.
Sonic the Hedgehog down in 6th, another 67.3% drop. 306 million worldwide. That will likely be the neighborhood of its final total. Very good off of the $85 million budget.
Oh, I think so. Totally.
Yep.
The Way Back down 71.2%, 2.35 mil. That's made $14 million worldwide. Ben Affleck's basketball alcohol drama. Call of the Wild with our digitally animated Harrison Ford and our live action dog. That brought in another 2.26, down 67.1%. $107 million worldwide gross. $135 million budget. That's going to be a loss right there, boys.
Yeah.
Yep. Harrison Ford.
Emma, down 73%. 1.295 million.
But they're in 167 more theaters.
Yep. They weren't in that many theaters to begin
No.
with, so they're doing all right there.
Yeah.
25 mil worldwide. Bad Boys for Life, down 63.5% in its 9th week. Not even the coronavirus can keep them out of the top 10.
Because they're bad boys.
For Life. 1.1 mil, down 63.5%. 419 million worldwide.
Wow.
Birds of Prey, down 73%. They were the second biggest loss this week behind, actually, third. So Birds of Prey lost 73.3%, under $1 million, $500,000. Nothing out of the top 10 made $1 million.
Wow.
And then Impractical Jokers, down 77.2%. And My Hero Academia, 94.2% drop.
Yeah, because their run was over. They're like, because those anime movies, they just have a fucking schedule. They're like, they have a very clear yeah, we're done here. All right, we're going from the movies. Bye bye.
But still, they were still in 500 theaters. It's just funny to see that big a number.
Yes.
Made $28 million worldwide.
Shout out to Tokyo Godfathers in 54th for making $5,800.
I like seeing this. Shout out to Hope Gap in 26th. Fucking up 81%, baby. They went from I want to say, what is that? What's 132 minus 114?
I can't do math
That's,
right now.
32 minus 14.
Like 16 theaters.
That's 30 minus 12. That's 30 minus 12 is 18, right? Went from 18 to 132 theaters.
Boom.
Right there, boys.
Success. Here comes the money.
Let's see. I want to see what Hope Gap is. I want to see if it's like a documentary or something. Nope. It's just it's some like artsy movie. A couple's visit with their son takes a dramatic turn when their father tells him he plans on leaving his mother.
So sad. All right, also sad is the dearth of gaming news this week. We did have some reveals for the PS5 and Xbox One X, which were big, but other than that, there ain't a lot happening in the world right now. So let's start with this article from PC Gamer talking about Xbox Series X specs. Pretty damn good. They describe it as a monster gaming PC. I wouldn't go that far, but it's got some good hardware. It's got a custom Zen 2 processor that 8 cores at 3.8 gigahertz or 3.66 if the developer wants to leverage SMT, which is simultaneous multi-threading. That's comparable to a Ryzen 7 3700X, which is about a $300 CPU. Hi, Corey. My bunny just fucking blitzed me. And on the graphics side, it has a AMD RDNA 2 architecture, which I think will be like Big Navi. It's listed as a 12 teraflop chip, but in numbers that more people can understand. It has 52 compute units at 1.852 gigahertz and 16 gigabytes of GDDR6. I'm guaranteeing you right now that is shared memory between the video card and the RAM. So it has 16 gigabytes of total memory, not 16 gigabytes of video memory. So
How did they get away with that?
yeah. Okay, 10 gigabytes of that memory is at 560 gigabytes per second. The other 6 is at 336 gigabytes. So I'd say that's probably the partition between system RAM and video RAM right there. It's a lot stronger than the Xbox One.
Good.
For sure. and it's comparable, at least on the CPU front, with a lot of pretty good PC hardware. I wonder how much it's going to cost.
Yeah, we'll see. That's going to be the important part. And
Yeah, let
see
me
how-
look up to see if that's been revealed yet. Series X price.
especially with the battle between that and PS5 just raging on.
Does not yet have an official
Yeah.
price. Yeah, so there was a similar reveal for PS5. The big thing they hit on with the PS5 that kind of struck me as odd was they really hyped up this custom SSD solution,
Yeah.
which I found interesting because, first off, it didn't seem like anything more impressive than a garden variety SSD. And there's a point where you like saturate the returns of an SSD. Like, you can spend the money on an NVMe drive and like super turbo, whatever, and it will be faster, yes, but you will probably not be able to perceive the difference between that and a SATA SSD in the majority of cases. You're never going to be able to saturate the bandwidth on those.
I haven't noticed any difference between mine. Too much difference. And I have one, but that came free with it. It's
All
nice
right,
though.
so,
It's nice.
oh yeah, they're nice. I'm not
For
like-
especially when you build your own thing and you just have to like slide in a thing and then screw it down. It's like there's no wires, there's no annoying shit to do.
Yeah, they're difficult to clone. That's why I didn't get. I had a choice to get a SATA 1 or a M.2 drive, but I went with the SATA drive because I didn't know how to clone my older boot drive onto the M.2.
Yeah.
So CPU on the PS3 side is a Zen 2 based CPU with 8 cores at 3.5 gigahertz. It's listed as variable frequency, so I'm pretty sure it's the same chip as the one that's in the Series X. A 10.28 teraflop GPU, 36 compute units at 2.23 gigahertz. So they're going for a faster chip with fewer compute units. And memory interface, so again, 16 gigabytes of shared memory, 448 gigabyte per second memory bandwidth, which is slower than the top end of the Series X. 825 gigabyte custom SSD for internal storage. And it has an NVMe SSD slot for expandable storage.
For the Series X.
For the PS5.
Okay.
And I'm maybe the Series X has a similar feature. I didn't see it in the other article. 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray drive that seals that I will be getting this. I will use my Xbox One for our console streaming setup, and I will have PS5 in the living room.
I also see the Series X has one as well.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I made the mistake of going like the PS5 is backwards compatible with the PS4, and I think like now that the dust has kind of settled on this generation and we're waiting on the newer generation, I think we have to ask ourselves, does the Xbox One X or Xbox One have the worst exclusive lineup in the history of home consoles? Because it's pretty barren. You've got like Gears of War 4 and Judgment, Halo 5, and then what? Sunset Overdrive.
And how much of that can you actually call
CFE.
exclusive
Alright.
that you can actually play on the PC as well?
Yeah,
All the cross-
Also, should limit this to since the Xbox came out.
well,
Because you're gonna, if you ever say that, it's like the fucking Mongols. The exception to every rule here is the CDI. The CDI had the worst line of exclusives in video game history.
okay. So let's say post 5th gen. So like from the
Okay,
Saturn
yes,
onward,
sure.
does it have the worst? So I can think of a couple of contenders to the throne if it's not the Xbox One. I think the Wii U had a fairly weak exclusive lineup because it didn't last very long. And I think the Wii also had a pretty weak exclusive lineup. I mean, it had Smash Bros. They had some heavy hitters. It had Smash Bros. It had Mario Galaxy. It had all that. Oh, I guess maybe not. So the Nintendo consoles had a lot.
No More Heroes. Yeah, Red Steel.
Yeah.
Wii Sports,
The Wii actually had a pretty good one.
and Wii
But
Resort.
yeah, Wii U and Sega Saturn, I think, are two contenders to the throne in terms of worst exclusive lineup. Because Sega Saturn, you had Knights, you had Panzer Dragoon, and that was pretty much it.
You had Bug and Bug 2. Oh, yeah.
Um,
Dark Savior. I know one had Dark Savior.
yeah. Saturn had a pretty... But, you know, we still talk about Knights and the Dreams a lot. We still talk about Panzer Dragoon a lot. Sonic 3D... Sonic R we talk about a lot, but for different reasons. It did have Virtua Fighter, which was big at the time. It did have Daytona Racing, and it was... I don't know if you want to count like X-Men versus Street Fighter and Marvel Superheroes versus Street Fighter as Saturn exclusives, because they did come out later for the PS1, but the PS1 versions of those games were dog shit.
Later is it kind of makes that point moot. So yes, I would call that an exclusive.
So it had the Capcom ports.
Otherwise, Resident Evil 4 wouldn't have been a GameCube exclusive.
Oh yeah.
Because that thing's been on fucking every console.
Yeah, it was originally GameCube. So I personally, I think I would rate the Saturn's exclusive lineup higher than the Xbox One's. It could be the worst ever.
Or like Google Stadia. Google Stadia is a pretty fucking... It has no exclusives.
Yeah.
Well, like maybe like 2. Let's look up Google Stadia exclusives. That's just... Remember that's out right now? That's a thing that people can have?
Well, if you have a Pixel phone.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Or a Chromebook.
Enjoy playing Borderlands at single player with lag.
If you're connected directly to your Xfinity server to get perfectly gigabit speeds, then yeah, you're fine.
Yeah, you got it.
10 gigabit speeds.
If you're living literally in the Google headquarters, in their server room, you can get.
If you're playing on the local machine that renders the games at Google's server headquarters, it's fine. Perfectly playable.
All right, so far Google Stadia has not landed any permanent exclusives, though with the platform's unique features like bullshit I don't care about, garbage, and thing that won't work. That's surely only a matter of time.
If you take your Ethernet cord and plug it right into Sundar Pichai's butthole,
it'll
work.
Take your Ethernet cord and sound Bill Joy with it, it'll work.
Oh,
that's why Alfred had
looking at
really
a
good
picture.
internet. That's why Alfred University had like 60 megabit per second symmetrical internet, because Bill Joy stayed there for an extended period of time and got like fucking so fed up with Alfred's shitty internet that he paid for fucking the fiber to be run. Bill Joy is one of the founders of Java. For those of you who don't know.
Jesus.
fantastic. Well, that's why he hooked up his butthole. He's got those coffee runs from drinking all that Java. Coffee jokes. No one's ever made that one before. It's not like it's their logo.
Yeah. So Sony has had some confusing comments about the backwards compatibility of the PS5. It has been confirmed that the vast majority of PS4 titles will run on the PS5 just fine. So it's like getting two consoles in one, because controllers are backwards and forwards compatible with each other. And lastly, because of everyone's quarantine, Steam had a record-breaking 20 million concurrent users.
Stonks. Whoever does the thumbnails for these, they should get an award. Those are just like all the stonks memes. Because CS:GO had one similar.
Yeah. That is with 6.2 million in-game users at the peak. That's quite a lot. That's pretty neat.
For Steam.
Yeah, good for the gaming industry right now. They're the one industry that's being lifted by this.
Have they has Steam put on any sales?
They should.
I guess
they
they
should
would.
put on a sale.
Just name it like COVID sale. Everything is $19.
Yeah.
Quarantine release sale.
Oh, you call it? No, you have to call it Steam Outbreak 2020.
Steam Outbreak 2020.
And then you have little cute game viruses like popping out of we're breaking out to give you these deals.
These deals are infectious. Catch it now.
Right? And when you buy a game, if your friends buy that game that shares them, and the more the game sharing spreads, the bigger the deals are. Or the more whatever arbitrary fucking points you get, because Steam has a point system for some reason. They have a trading card system.
Shit,
What?
there are some giveaways. They're giving away Tomb Raider 2013 for free.
Ooh.
Oh, I wanted Tomb Raider OG. Polygonal Croft.
All right. I snagged that.
Got 'em.
Yeah, they have some regular deals going on right now. Far Cry 5, 75% off. Fallen Order is 38% off. But there's not a big sale going on right now. Doom Eternal's out.
Oh yeah.
It is.
I should play
I've
that.
been playing that. Yep.
All right, so that is truly it for gaming news. Unless we want to dig really deep into some obscure content.
Real quick,
we're an hour in. So yeah.
I did, however, just binge watch a show I did not expect to watch. I don't think this would interest Kurt at all, but I know Pete, it might tweak your fancy a little bit.
You want to tweak my geek there?
Have you heard of on Netflix the show called Beastars?
I've watched it all.
You watched all of Beastars?
In the Japanese,
You're the other
yes,
person?
Please.
Oh, I watched the dubbed.
Oh.
Sorry.
No, the dub is actually fairly good.
Yeah,
I've
it
heard.
wasn't bad.
English dubs are fine.
Hey,
You're
Jake,
just weebs.
you know the guys who fucking made that thing, Studio Orange? They also made Land of the Lustrous, the one show they couldn't stop fucking going on about.
Yeah.
So yes, Beastars. It's a good show. Kurt, Zootopia, but anime.
I was scrolling through Netflix and I saw it. I'm like, Beastars? No,
yeah,
thank you.
it's actually the best ever. If you're a
Jake, there's a woman in your room.
Oh,
She's coming to get you.
Thanks for warning me, guys.
I managed to spook her. That was the greatest thing that's ever happened to me. I'll remember this day forever.
It's okay. Go get some pizza. Feed yourself.
So Jake, what were you saying about prostitute rabbits?
Yeah, dude. I did not expect this to be that good. And I sat down with my roommate's girlfriend while he was at work, and we were like, okay, we're gonna watch this just for the hell of it. And as we started, we both were like, I'm gonna be really fucking pissed if I like this, because it has a very furry vibe to it, because the deers are supposed to have hooves, and the dude has fingers. They all have
and it's a high school romance drama.
Yeah, and all the 18-year-olds act like they're 28. Just I don't know, dude. I mean, the wolf helps the rabbit move around flowers and stuff like that, and she's like,
he helps out.
He's like, oh, let me buy you food. And he's like, nah, I'm not hungry. It's like, oh, okay, so you want me to suck your dick? And he's
yeah, because she's like, so she's. I love that. I don't love it, but it's a great fucking idea.
We wanted it to go a little bit farther, and they
Of course
stopped
you
it
did.
right when she was about unfurring his wolf pack, and they stopped, and we're like, no, don't tease us like this.
No.
You warned us about nudity, and all we get is a rabbit in a bra and panties. Fuck that.
Let's cut back. Find when Beastars started. cut back to the closest Saturn Studs episode to that, and go watch me as I recount the me watching the first couple episodes and being really freaked out when that scene happened.
Because it took a fucking turn. I mean,
it's a left turn where she's at the flower club, and she is this character is a promiscuous rabbit who's been like the town bicycle, as it were. She's just sort of like burnt out. She's like, yeah, I'll fuck anyone, whatever. So our typical anime protagonists are like, oh, it's a girl, I don't know what to do. He's like hanging out with her, and she's like, yeah, like you said, she takes him into her room by the flower club, and she's like, all right, you don't pay for food. I guess you want. I've never fucked a carnivore before, and she takes off her shirt, and there's like she's got bunny tits and a bunny bra on. I'm like, fuck,
it's a busty bunny, and on top of that, we should also add in the fact that just the night before he tried to eat her.
He went fucking
smelled her
insane
at night, and then came over with a bloodlust, and then jumped at her and
gave her a fucking bear hug and just like
it was hot, dude. I don't know. I've never been turned on by like vor.
But
there's like. But there's like
was so much worse than I expected.
But like there's such a weird aspect of like you could see somebody getting sort of aroused by like this rabbit.
I think I'm looking at one right now.
I wasn't about that.
Jake, would you believe that chicken character in that one episode who's like randomly in the intro who makes eggs, that's the author's self-insert.
No, really? That's awesome.
Yeah.
I make eggs for the school. Because just before that, we were like, yo, so is like eating eggs, because all the carnivores have to eat like a non-meat, like high protein, not meat diet. And the way they do that is they eat a lot of eggs and tofu and meat substitute things. Because eating other animals is very taboo, because it's like it's like borderline cannibalism, because you're eating like another sentient person.
Right.
But this chicken is just like popping out eggs and selling them to the school for money. And
yeah, she's like, I gotta work out every day. I keep my stress low. I go to bed every night so I can make the best eggs.
I don't know. There was a lot of details that I liked about this show, like the simple fact that there were 2 sets of doors for the smaller animals. There was this whole societal construct between like the governor or the mayor who like had his fangs removed so he could look more presentable.
Yeah, because he's a giant fucking lion.
Thanks, everyone, for tuning in to our review of Beastars. We'll see you next week for when we review Interstella 555, because apparently that's been bumped.
I just wanted to see. I didn't know Peter actually watched this, so that's amazing. I was going to give like a 5-second review and just talk about how the bunny tried to suck the wolf's dick, and he tried to eat her like a night before.
You can never expect it if you bring me into the conversation. Jake, I will say it before we stop. If you watch Beastars and you liked it, especially if you like the animation, go watch Land of the Lustrous. Okay. God damn it, watch some androgynous gem people talk about some fucking weird alien shit. It's amazing.
Weird fascination with gem people between that and Steven Universe, Peter.
This one came out before Steven Universe. God damn it, people have been making that comparison since they figured it out. They're like, wait, what's this Japanese anime? My Japanese animes. And they're like, oh, it's also gem people who live in an alien society far removed from humans and whose emotional state reflects their physical state. Wow, what a fucking coincidence.
All right, so I give Beastars 6 out of 10. Great movie, great show. Go watch it. 10 episodes, easy peasy. Watch a wolf fuck a rabbit.
Doesn't sound like a 6 out of 10 there, bud.
Sounds like a 6 out of 9.
Okay, I'll take your word for it.
Hey, it just made me feel things that I wasn't prepared for, so that's why I gave it. I'm a little angry at it.
He's got a fear.
He's watching it.
Here.
I hope this doesn't awaken something in me.
That is about the feeling. You're like, because other than the actual like what it is, the entire story is like your typical romance story. Like it's like intimate and like personal, but then you're like, this is a fucking wolf. What the fuck?
Like, why is that cheetah so hot?
This also. I'm sorry, we really do have to get off this, but I will say that this plays into like a weird furry thing where they're like, one of their tropes is like, we just got to convert all the normies. We got to make them all furries. That's like this. The furries have a secret agenda.
Yeah,
God damn it! Like, there's no gay agenda, but there is a furry agenda.
Sure.
There's no
Fuck
gay
them. So what did
The
we
furries
watch
have been
last
pitting the gay. We watched Interstella 5555, the Fattori of the secret fire system. Story of the secret
Yes,
star
this
system,
was-
which the ending kind of
Just,
annoyed me a little bit.
Yeah.
What
So
do you mean? When they came back from getting kidnapped and just went right back to work.
No. Like the very end, when like the kid fucking wakes up, we find it was just his Smash Bros. Fucking
Oh,
fantasy.
that whole thing. Those are cheap.
Yeah.
Those are cheap. Cheap.
It's the imaginative child when you're listening to a Daft Punk album. Yes, so this was a 2003 movie.
Same year as Finding Nemo.
Music by Daft Punk, animated
Toei
by
animation.
Leiji Matsumoto, who you might know from every 80s anime ever, like Space Battleship Yamato. I'm sorry, 70s anime, my bad. 70s anime, Space Battleship Yamato, and like Space Pirate Captain Harlock, which was a fucking big anime in the 70s. Huge. Its influence spread across the world. You can still find it today. It's in Steven Universe. One of the characters has a fucking Space Harlock reference. That's like his whole character. God damn it! It's everywhere. It's in it. He's a master guy, and the guys from Daft Punk are like, well, we have a shit ton of money and we're really famous right now. You want to just like, we watched the anime as a kid. You want to make an anime movie with them? And we're like, yeah, let's make a fucking anime movie out of our album Discovery.
Yeah.
And then they did it.
So this is basically a extended music video for an entire album. There is no dialogue, and there are very few sound effects.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah,
you want to
very
watch
few
that
sound
music,
effects.
which I'm
Anything
fine
that
with.
is. I was a little thrown off because like they're in there every now and then. Like the car crash scene, and the truck hits the car, it blows up. I was like, oh shit.
It's like, that man is dead. And then it's like, unless they're Terminators, and it like fucking rise up and there's a red eye. And I'm like, oh my God, it's Jumanji. It's
Sure. Yeah, so the conceit here was try and fit a fucking story into Daft Punk's Discovery album, which I will challenge you guys now. Between the two of you, can you name every song on this album?
No. I recognize every song on the album, but I do not know the name.
I did
of
when
a
I
few of
looked
them.
it up. I know the first one is One More Time.
Uh-huh.
And I think the last one is Too Long or something like that.
Yep.
And then there's
So
a
I
Face
missed
to
a
Face, I think,
couple when I
before
was
that.
I missed a couple when I was going, but I'll try and get them all right now. I've listened to Discovery a fair amount. It's as close as being a real fan of a band as I'm gonna be. So I'm gonna try it with my eyes closed, so I'm not reading the fucking
I've got
screen
the list
here.
up to verify.
Yep.
Oh fuck! I'm gonna fuck this up. So it's gonna be One More Time, Aerodynamic,
Good so far.
Crescendals, Harder, Better, Faster, Stronger. Let's see, Superhero,
Superheroes.
High
I'll give it to you.
Life, Heroes, High Life. I think Night Vision, Veridisco or Veridis Quo. I forgot Digital
Okay.
Love. Yep. Something Between Us.
It's something about us.
About Us. Yeah. Then it's, let's see. Short Circuit.
You've got three more that you haven't named.
Face to
Check.
Face. Voyager. and too
Check,
long.
very good. I will give you 13 out of 14 on that.
Yeah, very good.
Which one did I miss?
You said something between us. It's something about us.
Oh, it's because in the song it says there's something
I'll give you
between us
13
anyway.
and a half. I'll give you half credit on that.
I'll take
So,
it, boys.
Very good grade, Peter. Very good grade on your quiz.
Yay!
Yeah, so I think there's only a few other sound effects. There's like rain and lightning, but you could even kind of confuse that with like I could see that being in an album because I know sometimes songs include like rain sound
I
effects.
noticed in the beginning there were a couple of sound effects for like the ship engines.
There were whooshes and whirs.
Swashes and I think most of it was like
Sweeps, beeps,
copyright
and
protection. They're like,
Yeah.
you can't steal the audio from the TV if I put random Foley in there.
So spoiler alert for
yeah.
a 17-year-old movie.
That I'm sure all of you are lining up to watch.
It's free on YouTube. Go see it. We pan over and there's blue people playing the guitars and basses and there appears to be singing and some.
It's literally just the plot of
Yeah.
Smurfs.
Yeah, they're singing a song
Smurfs.
called One More
Actually, yeah.
Time.
Oh,
Yeah, it's the plot of
And
Smurfs.
an evil record producer, kidnaps them, and he turns them human. He turns one of them black because he has an afro, which I was like,
I was like, what? Why? I mean, I know he had some physical attributes of a man who is black.
They just got it was good. It was good for the demographics. They scientifically chosen that perfectly to match the demographics.
It would have been interesting if they could see something like go wrong with the machine and it's just like messed up the coloring. Oh, dang it! But I think that would.
That's how we get alopecia.
my
That's how we get
favorite is when he
alopecia.
like fucking wakes up in the
Wait, not
hospital
alopecia,
and he looks at his arms and he sees these blues. Like, oh, thank God, I'm not black anymore.
Man,
That was
sucked
rough.
For a long time. I was getting a lot of
But
weird letters.
See, you would have known if he's white because he'd had the exact same hairstyle that every white guy in the movie
Yeah.
had. Every
Yeah,
middle-aged- with the weird fuzzy coif.
So we got these people who are just these aliens who are giving on this rockin' concert. People love it. The drummer's going ham, and it's so intriguing. In fact, that the people who are supposed to be monitoring the space border,
Yeah, the planetary defense
they
system.
do not realize that there is a ship.
They're too busy
Incoming.
rocking out.
And they're rocking out. The one guy takes a break to go get a soda pop, and he comes back only too late to reveal that there are 3 ships that are just like deploying these little foot soldiers, and they're
lot of
spraying
them, too.
people with pink gas,
Yo,
and they're hunting down these musicians, and they get them.
picking their gas. Yep,
They
they got him. They
abduct
abducted him. Bring him back from the wizards. Brought him back from Smurf Village. Meanwhile, Shep, a weeb in space, he's doing his space janitorial work. Almost fucking goes into the abyss. Being a jerk is about it. And he's just like I'd love the crescendo or the
bassist,
fucking whatever. They
the
didn't have a
bassist
name.
for her. I forgot what her name
Stella.
was. Stella. Yeah, that's right.
Stella!
Stella, Octave,
Octave.
Arpeggius
and
Daryl?
sure.
Barrel.
It's another music
Wait,
term.
wait. No, it's barrel.
barrel?
Yeah, it's barrel.
Barrel.
The musical instrument of barrel.
Stella, Barrel, Octave, and Pegasus.
Arpeggius.
And they're
And,
the
they're all-
crescendos.
They're the crescendos. So they abduct them. They bring them back to Earth, and
Earth.
then they brainwash them. They basically whitewash their
They
memories.
implant their memories. They implant memories.
They just color
whitewash them.
code their memories and
They
make,
color correct memories, and they
they make that hover bike a tricycle, and then they make
And then they put brainwashing things on them because scrubbing their memories wasn't
turns them
enough.
into like robots. like
very depressed robots, and
And then-
they're forced. They go on tour and they play their one song over and over and over again, and then they have
people
to
eat it up.
sign a bunch of records, and they're all sweaty and gross, and because they're
Well,
signing too many
Like,
records.
it's so much because, like, you know, the moral of this story. I don't know how this got produced, but the moral of the story is that music managers are evil.
Yeah,
Fuck
evil
Well-
music managers sell them to record companies, and then the record companies and the managers just make money together, and that's all they care about. While the musicians just run themselves on empty
suffer.
and suffer, and they're forced to do these things they don't
Make
want to do.
We need an alien to come save me from the record companies. This was the same plot as Gem and the fucking holograms. Goddamn, this is the Smurfs meet Gem and the holograms, where Gem had to fight the evil record company with her good record company.
Right.
So
I know too much.
Yes,
about
you
Gem and
do.
the
the pilot ends up coming out of nowhere after he crash lands, and he saves him.
Yeah, and then he gets.
He fucking jetpacks into the
like-
stadium like
Yeah,
a
he's
fucking
on his
boss.
flying board, and then he like detaches from them. I'm like, that seems a little premature. I'm like, nope, okay, he has a jetpack, of course.
jetpacks, and he's just flying over the crowd.
and crop dust the whole
He saves
crowd
all
there.
of them except Stella.
Yep.
They managed to keep her, but they do get her back, and then he gets shot as they were fleeing from the Tower Records.
Earl de Darkwood.
Errol Del Darkwood.
Is the big
And
bad
then
guy's name.
they make their plan to go rescue Stella. They finally get her back on the awards show
Yeah.
as they're receiving their golden
Daft
record.
Punk cameo.
There was a Daft
Yep.
Punk cameo with their little helmets and shit. So they do end up rescuing Stella, and she runs off, and nobody really notices until like last second. They're just like, oh, she's gone. Oh well. They get her back just in time to say goodbye to the guy who loves her, and he gives her a triangle.
Space pyramid.
He gives her a spice.
A
Mind
prism
pyramid.
that can deflect lasers, apparently.
Yeah, it's a
Sure. Does
a lot of random shit.
Does a lot of shit. Then Shep like has a space orgasm and just ascends to the higher plane.
Because we all know aliens, they actually have like a tangible afterlife, and
He becomes Dr. Manhattan, fucks off into space.
Yeah. And they watch his star. He's like, oh, he's up there
They
for
go
the rest
bury
of the
him.
movie. Okay, cool.
turns into flowers. I think he makes flowers, and the
Yeah,
flowers
tulips
float away. into what?
instantly.
And then the flower thing
Yeah.
flies away. I'm like, no, you just did that.
How many times you gonna fly away? Make up your mind.
And Stella's just moping about it the whole time. This guy, she's known for 15 minutes. Deep
And
connection.
she whips out her the card that the evil wizard dropped, which has
His address on it.
address. I was like, what? Okay, fine. And there's a fucking creepy castle in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, fucking
Love
some of
it.
them
Yep.
ripped out of the pages of Scooby Doo, and then there's a fucking lava cult beneath the fucking.
Yeah, because
It's a
we
weird
find
thing.
out the reason that they fucking kidnapped the boys. It was like in the 1700s, a little fucking alien fell down and like the
Fucking
power of the golden
Vandal
record.
Savage. Apparently, our wizard is Vandal Savage as he like crashed to Earth on a meteor, and fucking as like he's behind Mozart and all these other fucks, and they just pushes them into the lava pit when he's done with them.
Gathers their energy, and once he has 5,555
Gold records.
golden records, he gets to conquer the universe. Which, okay, yeah, I could sit here for a good 5 minutes and talk about that lore. I really don't want to. Suffice it to say that you just take a blank slate and just put it in. It just says Peter justifies the entire backstory of Interstellar 555 here.
5555.
Okay, we good?
Yep,
We
I
did
heard
it.
it.
Satisfying explanation for all. Kurt's a little weirded out by the weird tangent I went
just-
on, but
it's
okay,
just-
we'll continue.
Peter, you went a little too far in a few places. We didn't need to hear about like detailed reproductive details of the fucking race that Stella and them all are.
I don't know why you decided to go in on
Yeah.
tax fraud and how they evaded it.
You had hurtful feelings
commits
on
tax fraud?
banned hexproof.
Fantastic. I hate band. Band's my least favorite color combination. I like the value is strong, but band just like it skeeves me off inside. They don't. Why do they get away with all this shit they can do?
True.
Band blink, not hex. Band hexproof is fine. Band blink. Again. I will go into that in actual detail. Maybe one of these days. Not today. We got to finish off this fucking movie because they don't have enough footage for the movie, so they have to do
a
flashback
of everything you
montage.
just saw for this hour and 5-minute movie.
They recap everything just in case you missed it.
And then everyone else on Earth is nice, so they help them yeet back into space.
They come out to the general public and they're like, "Oh, sweet, number one bangers were actually aliens." I actually don't care.
They help him get back. A scientist presents his findings to the UN, and they all clap like at the end of Citizen Kane.
The one kid bothered me. He showed up in blueface. I feel like that might be a little insensitive.
Yeah, that was a little weird.
I was watching this with Diane, and I was like, so technically, does the lead singer of the Crescendos, was he in blackface this entire time?
Yeah, I think so. I think they were all in white and blackface. Yikes.
Corporate blackface.
But yeah, they eat back to space, but the fucking magician turns into goddamn Andros and swallows the ship.
Yeah. Spaceship comes in and fucking hugs them to death.
Like, no.
I got this, Stella. I'll fuck you in the
Don't
forever
worry,
zone.
fucking Dr. Manhattan comes back to fucking yeet them into the Phantom Zone.
Yep. Here, have a look at my naked ass, Stella. My cosmic ass.
So now they're just floating in space on the other side, and they're like trying to find their home planet, and they're kind of giving up, but they're playing their tunes.
They're playing music, but the fucking drummer doesn't have any drums, so he's just slapping his knees.
It works. So
Yep.
I think what the whole point of this was, they were like broadcasting too. I think.
Well, when they
I
get
assume
back to
so,
their
maybe?
planet, they
I don't know.
broadcast to Earth, which is
Yeah.
not possible for many reasons.
The Border Patrol finds them, and they're like, "Oh,
Yeah,
you're
everyone,
back."
like,
Woohoo.
3 cheers, and they make a statue of fucking Dr. Manhattan before he was Dr. Manhattan. And then Stella looks lustfully at it, and they play their music, and Earth's rocking out, and they're rocking
With
out.
a lot of gratuitous ass shots of
Oh, yeah.
Stella.
That's fine.
And everyone's
Alien blue
rocking
booty.
out and having a good time, and that's Interstella 5555, the story of the secret star system. But was it? Because it was revealed that it was all a little kid playing with his toys while falling asleep listening to Discovery.
Little boar's dream.
Little boars.
Of course. It all exists in your mind. It's the realm of imagination.
Come with me,
That's what they
and
do.
you'll see
A
a movie about a Daft Punk album.
This is one of those movies where you're like, it's 2 a.m. or it's 1 a.m. You don't want to go to sleep, but you're kind of just in the middle zone here. So you just turn it on, and you're just like, okay.
Oh, I could definitely see like calmly falling asleep
Like,
to this.
if you like the Discovery album
Yeah.
of Daft Punk, like, there's no reason for you not to see this.
Yeah.
Like, it's mostly just that album with, like, if you've seen any of those music videos, they're all just, like, ripped from this movie. So, you know, it's like watching a marathon playlist of the music videos, plus some bridging content.
Not offensive.
Easy to watch, only an hour and 5 minutes, available for free on YouTube. So no reason not to give it an old watch if you're a fan of Daft Punk or Toei Animation or this particular animator.
Yep.
Have it on in the background. The plot's not super consequential. You can pop in and out whenever.
Yeah.
I mean, most of you are in quarantine anyway, so watch it.
Yeah, it's
Yeah. Watch this and then go watch from other French house music maker Justice. You can watch their feature film, Iris, a space opera. And if you have epilepsy, you could just go fucking insane.
Hell yeah.
It's that's also an hour, but it's an hour of their set. And it's just it's just a bunch of fucking light setups. And they're like, We're just gonna strobe at you for an hour here, boys. Buckle
Strobes
in.
out, boys.
Strobes
All
out,
right,
boys.
so that will be a wrap on episode 203. A nice little easily digestible episode here. We'll be back to, I think, hopefully between today and Sunday, we'll be able to close out Mass Effect on the stream. Peter and I did 3 hours yesterday. We finished the last mainline planet and tidied up some side quests, so we're ready to push forth to the end of the game, and hopefully we'll be able to finish it this week so we can get to that new Borderlands DLC.
Yep.
And links to our streams can be found on SaturnStuds.com as well as our social media. Twitter at StudsSaturn, Facebook.com/SaturnStuds. But definitely the website, SaturnStuds.com, is the best place to go for everything because it's all just right there. Easy to use. Just like Interstella 5555 is easy to watch. All right. Unless you guys have anything else to say, I will say be well, stay safe, stay indoors, don't do anything stupid. And we'll make it out of this no worse for wear. So until next time, be well. Again, stay safe. Party like it's 1995.
Bye-bye.
Peace.